fact, we go way back. We served in World War II together. Please welcome Ed Driscoll.
Oh, thank you. Really? You mean that? Oh, that's awful nice of you, yeah. Now, I'm really excited to be here at the Great American Comedy Festival. It's kind of a little mini tour I'm doing. I'm next week at the not all that great comedy festival, and then I think I wrap up with an event called Get Off the Stage. So maybe that event's arrived early. Nice to be here. It was an easy flight for me from LA, really. It was not a long flight, and much shorter than the ride from the airport, as it turned out. But I'm not telling you nothing you don't know, I guess. But I was like, really? Wow. Couldn't I have taken another flight to the hotel at that point? Okay. But, I'm not a good flyer. I was on the longest flight of my life recently. I went to New Zealand, okay? Beautiful there, nice people, but it's like a 21-hour flight, okay? And I thought, oh my God, how am I gonna make it through this? Okay, I'll just try to sleep. So I get on the plane, I'm just like, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. And this guy sits down next to me, and he's got one of those electronic voice box things, this, hi, how are you, And I felt kind of bad for the guy, and I actually offered him my window seat, which he accepted, and, but that's when it got hellish, because he figured, oh, we're best friends now, and he turned out to be chatty. I mean, have you ever seen someone with an electronic voice box who is chatty? Hi, how are you? What do you do for a living? First time in New Zealand, business or pleasure? I'm like, oh my God. I'm on a 21-hour flight with Darth Vader. No, you can't say anything, right? But just like the whole time. Is this a smoking flight? I haven't had enough of that. What do you think they're serving for dinner? I'm like, oh, do those batteries ever run out? No, you can't say anything. I'm not kidding. Like 6 hours into the flight, the guy hadn't stopped talking to me. I start thinking, I hope this plane goes down. Even that would have been creepy. It would have just been like, yeah, yeah. You're a sick crowd, and I really appreciate that. I do. Shame on all of you, though. Oh, yeah. I recently went through a divorce, and I know you're thinking, like, who would jettison this prize? But it's weird that there's still a stigma with divorce. We're saying, like filling out forms a lot of times. You fill out a form, it'll say single, married, divorced. Like, why? Right? I mean, you're either single or you're married, aren't you? Like, why is that anybody's business? Just the other day, I'm filling out at this place a form. There it is. Single, married, divorced. I'm like, divorced. Was it your fault? Yes. What did you do? Add more paper if necessary. I'm like, look, just take us back. I really don't want a library card that bad, okay? That's funny. I have well-meaning friends, too. They're like, come on, Ed, you got to get back out there. You're single again. You work in Las Vegas a lot. Go mingle. Go see some girls, Go see that burlesque show, Crazy Girls. I got to be honest with you. At this stage of my life, there's nothing enticing about a show called Crazy Girls, okay? Are there any shows called Emotionally Stable, Mature, Self-Sufficient Women? That sounds hot. Yeah. I'll go see that, but I've been at Crazy Girls for like the last 40 years, okay? Very predictable. I don't like the ending, and I never get my money back. Yeah, Crazy Girls. You go see it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be cranky. I'm not a real positive thinker. It's not where my head normally goes. And my friends always, come on, Ed. It takes more muscles to frown than smile. I'm like, well, clearly I'm willing to put in the extra work. Okay, so don't yell at me for being a hard worker. No, I'm sorry. I got to tell you, I'm sleep deprived. I got this dog who lives next door, and some people too. It's not just a dog living next door. A few dogs can afford their own homes in this economy, but. This dog barks all night long. All night long. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, woo. The same pattern all night long. Just try sleeping when you know those last two are coming, okay? And the problem is the woman that owns the dog, very nice, Mrs. Johnson, she's about 100 years old. and she's basically deaf, and she's pretty much the only person in LA County that can't hear this dog barking. I've tried talking to her about it. I'm like, Mrs. Johnson, your dog. She's like, oh, there is a lot of fog, dear. Oh, never mind, No, I'm not kidding. So it was making me crazy, right? So the other night, I'm like, I've had it. So I finally got an idea, So I took a hot dog and some Benadryl, okay? Well, it's not gonna hurt the animal, right? They give Benadryl to kids, don't they? At least when I babysit. So I took a hot dog, I put like 3 Benadryl in there. I throw it over the fence. I don't hear anything. I'm like, yes, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just about to fall asleep. What the hell? I look over the fence, there's Mrs. Johnson. She's laying there sound asleep, half the hot dog hanging out of her mouth. Dog standing over her. I'm like, are you kidding me, So I'm like, okay, I have to make sure he eats it. So I go in, I get another hot dog, put like 5 Benadryl in there, okay? Throw it over, I see the dog eat it, right? And I mean, do you think it put him to sleep? And all it did was clear its sinuses, okay? So now it's barking is nice and loud and guttural. It's like, have a good night of sleep, Ed. I'm like, oh. So this is going on, and then Mrs. Johnson tells me, oh, my dog got injured, but she's okay, and I'm actually feeling sorry for the animal. And they come back, from the vet, and I see that, I feel bad for it because I see it's got a cone. And then I realize, oh no, now it's got a megaphone. Oh yeah, that night, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my God. So I couldn't take it. Another week of this goes on. I get another hot dog. I'm telling you, I put like 15 Benadryl in there. And I ate the hot dog myself. And that worked fine, Why I didn't do that to begin with, I don't know. Folks, you've been fantastic. Thanks very much. Good night. Thanks for having me. Thanks, man.
Ed Driscoll, how about it for him?